everyone, what a surprise, you have me. Unfortunately, Claire couldn't make it today. She has a few issues at home, so you have me. I hope that's okay. Please do not click the X now that you know it's me. Me is better than nothing. It's all been such a chaos today, to be honest with you. I'm leaving after this show to get down to Peterborough for live shows tomorrow, but we didn't want you to miss out, so here we are. And I'm going to demonstrate some of Claire's fabulous products. For those of you who don't know who I am and maybe are thinking, well, I always tune in and Claire's here, my name is Toni and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and this is the Wakefield studio that we all love to use and inspire you guys at home. So before I get ready for my first demonstration, here is a little inspiration. That lovely yellow card of Claire's is one of my favourites. Every time I see that card pop up, it's like, I must try that technique, I must try that technique. I absolutely love that one, bright and breezy. In today's studio, we are going to use the border stamps that Claire brought out pretty much straight out of the park, really. When she first launched her stamps and dies, these were her very first ones. So I'm revisiting earlier products. But I absolutely adore the border ones that she did. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. I hope Claire's watching. She'll probably tell me off if I do anything wrong. So, but let's just chop it up and we'll just play and see what happens. So first of all, I'm just going to grab my Eureka. And we are going to be using, with that stamp, the coordinating outline die as well. So I am going to use the large one. So let me just grab some card just to show you so you can see. So this is an A5 stamp set, so you can see how big this one is. So you've got a large one, a small, you've got the one that's pushed together, which is beautiful for borders, actual physical borders, and then you've got your elements that you can build on top. So it's quite a multifunctional stamp is this one. So I'm gonna do some heat embossing onto gold onto gold, tone on tone. I'm having a tone on tone moment. If you haven't gathered, I've been doing it quite a lot of late. So it's happening here today. So I'm going to just pop it onto this gold. Now this is like a gold, it's got like a sheen to it, but it's not like super shiny. It's very delicate. So I've placed it face down onto my card. And because I'm heat embossing, I always use an anti-static bag. So it gets rid of any nastiness that might happen when I come to pop the powder on. And I'm using a Versamark sticky ink pad. I would use Claire's, but it's packed for TV tomorrow, so I'm on limited supplies. But yeah, if you have a sticky ink pad at home and it works, you stick with it. So basically lots of light taps all over the stamp, and then we're just going to stamp this one out. give it a good old push down. And can just see that, but for the sake, I am going to do it just in case I have missed any areas. Get that stamp nicely covered. Thank you. So you can see there it's stamped out beautifully. So let's just grab a piece of card, scrap card from somewhere. Here we go. And I'm going to use gold. So I'm using Claire's Lovely Gold. It is beautiful, is this one. It's a very elegant gold, I call it. So I'll just pop my embossing powder all over there. Like so. Can we see that there? Absolutely gorgeous. And then when this heats, it'll give us like a shiny reflection of a lovely stamp on there. So let's heat set this one. So because I'm using embossing powder, I'm going to heat set it. I'm going to get my gun hot before I take it to the powder. This will ensure I don't get a burn on the powder, and it'll ensure the card doesn't go like a big wave because I've been sat holding it onto the card. So once I'm confident it's hot enough, we'll pop it straight on. And you can probably see the changing of the powder as I go along there. There we go. So I don't know if you can see that. It's absolutely beautiful. If you were to make wedding invites with this, with the name of the people you wanted to attend, it's beautiful. It's just got wedding written all over it on envelopes, gold envelopes, silver envelopes. It really is a beautiful stamp. It's one of my favourites. So I'm just going to set that aside, and then we're going to grab our coordinating outline. And there's a beautiful 1mm border around the die. So please don't worry if you don't get the die perfect, because you've got that little bit of room for error. So just pop it on there like so. Yeah, that should be fine. And this is going to give us a lovely outline to our image. So ahead of time, I've already done 2 on silver. Can we see there? There we go. See how beautiful they are. So we've got 2 on silver, and it's the same sort of card. It's got like a pearly finish, but it's not like overly pearly. And then we have our beautiful gold border as well. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll just set that aside. So let's get this card put together. So I always like to have a look at how it's going to look without it being glued. So if there's anything I want to change, then I can do that. So I have my gold top folding note card, so it coordinates beautifully. I have my black matte and layer, which hopefully will sit seamlessly within there. I have my next layer, which is gold, and I wanted the smallest of black border on there, which it looks like I've managed to achieve. It's absolutely tiny. And then I have my elements. So what I wanted to achieve was sort of like a belly band, but not a loose one that you can play around with. So let's have a look. So I start at the bottom, and then we'll pop this one maybe at the top. And the gold is going to tie it all together when we pop it in the centre. Can we see that there? So I can already see that these need to be a touch closer together when I come to glue it together. And then when I pop this one on top, it's balanced. Can we see that there? So it's already coming together. Before we put it together though, I am going to pop a sentiment on here. And let's just see what we've actually got. That's a bit crazy, isn't it? Everything's packed down. As you all probably know, we are moving premises and there's nothing here. So let me just check if we have anything to hand. Right, we're going to have to go with this one. How old? Not appropriate really for my classic wedding invite. But you guys know at home that you can swap your sentiments out and obviously do as you wish. I'm going to move that slightly over because I have got a fancy embellishment as well to go on the card. So we'll pop this over to the left. And I am going to do it in gold and keep it in the theme of everything else. So again, I'm going to anti-static, keep it all tidy. Sticky ink pad. And because it's such a small sentiment, I'm not going to like really push. I'm just going to delicately touch it because what will happen is if I push it, it'll all just bleed into one. It'll look like a bit of an ugly mess. And that's fine. Just get rid of any flyaways. There we go. Keep it all nice. And we'll just heat set this one too. So again, getting my gun hot. As soon as the powder changes, look at that. How old? So you could send this as a birthday card, but my vision was more elegant than that. More of a wedding idea, thank you. So let's start to put this card together. So when I was putting this together, or the idea in my mind, like so you can see it's going to look beautiful actually, but what I thought felt like these needed elevating a little bit, so I just grabbed my white pencil, and what I'm going to do is, sorry, can we just zoom in just to show the detail on here? I wanted it to look a little bit like parchment. So I've got my white pencil here, and I'm just adding some delicate detail. Where Claire's drawn those lines, thank you. Where Claire's drawn those lines, I'm basically just following her lines and adding that little bit of extra detail. So it could look a little bit frosty. It could look parchment, really. Just follow those lines. So pop a little bit in the leaves. Now I only have to do this on the tops of both. Pop a little bit in there, and it just gives it that little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to stick my head in because I can't see if that's a leaf. It just elevates it a little bit more than it just being a flat card. Now if you have like a gold pencil, you could try it with a gold. Can you see how that sort of elevated it there a little bit? So let's pop a little bit in these. And then with our bottom one as well, I'm just going to repeat that process so the bottom one reflects the top. So just some light flicking motion from the centre out where you would normally pop a little shadow. So not difficult at all, and you can keep going and building and building and building on that. So I'm going to leave that be. There we go. So I'm just going to put the card together now. So if we can just zoom out, that'd be brilliant. Thank you. And we can get people can see what we're doing. So let's get this card constructed then. So we have our lovely top folding note card. Thank you. We have our black piece of card. So I'm just going to go for the tape pen for speed. But as you all know, or if you don't know, I always encourage both. If you're giving it to somebody you love, you want it to last and stick together well. So the black one straight in the centre here, as straight as possible. And then our lovely gold one. Pop my gold one straight in the centre of that one. That should give us the tiniest of black borders if possible, if I've cut it well. There we go. Get this lovely black border around. Just wanted it to give it a lift, but not too much. So here's where our card comes together. So I'm going to pop it down there. Hide all the ugly joins just a little bit closer. So what I'm going to do is just going to pick this one up. I'm using glue, so when I come to pop it on, this part here, at least I've got that little bit of movement, wiggle room. Have I not got it? Perfect. So I can see then that needs to be a little bit higher. Make sure they're straight. I think we'll go with that. Just give it a chance to grab. Oops. Yep, that's okay. So let's get some foam pads behind this embellishment that's going to sit proud. So you see the pattern sort of mimics itself from top to bottom really, which is a really cool effect. So I'm just going to, so ahead of time I cut this gold butterfly, and what I did was I cut two at the same time, and cut two, and then I popped some glue in the centre, so I've got this sort of like 3D embellishment here. Can we see that there? So I can raise the top wings, I can pop this one flat. I'm just going to pop this on here. And that's what I was saying about the tone on tone. I'm really in love with the tone on tone at the moment, so I could have easily gone silver there, but for some reason I'm loving tone on tone. So, and then I think the last thing to do on this one is just add some little embellishments. So it doesn't need big embellishments, just simply because I don't want to draw your eye away from the focal point. So let's see what lovely ones we've got in my just in case pencil case. You know, just in case you need something, which is normally the case, isn't it? So let's just see if I've got my tweezers to hand. So I've just got these lovely little pearl ones, these diamante ones. I'm just going to pop some onto the silver back in there. I'm not popping lots on, guys, because I don't want to overwhelm the card. It's already a little bit, I wouldn't say crazy, but it's got quite a bit going on, so I'll pop one up there too. Just tuck it in and over here a little bit. So after the show, I will post this card on my Stamps by Me one, and then when Claire's got a minute and sorted herself out, I'll get her to post it on Thirsty Brush website too, so you can all see it and watch the catch up if you want to. I'm sorry you didn't get Claire today. It is me, and I am sorry it's only one demonstration, but I really didn't want to let you down. We did send a newsletter to let you all know. Claire was really super excited about it, but it's unfortunate circumstances at home that she couldn't get here. So you did end up with me. I don't think it's too bad, but you know, she will be back in studio next Thursday at 3 p.m. So whatever you're doing, have a lovely evening, and I'll see you all live on Stamps by Me over on Create and Craft tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Take care, everyone. Bye.